Hey everyone, this is Joe, the 50 something Dasher, and this is part three, the final part of my three-part series on DoorDash shop and pay orders. And now coming to you from the checkout lanes of the store, where in this video I'm going to give just a couple things to keep in mind, some little tips and strategies for the final parts of the process, checking out at the registers and loading up your car so you can go off to deliver your shopping order. Now, and as you can see here behind me, all of these registers that you see are all closed. At this particular time of morning at Meijer, they'll only have the self-checkouts open. That's it. But first, I wanted to talk about what happens if you're not even going to make it to the checkout lanes. So something happens to where you've decided that you're going to drop a shopping order. Now, I've talked about this before in some of my past videos. I rarely ever will drop a restaurant order. I personally never have a need to, like rarely ever. Except for penalty free drops after a 10-minute wait. Now, I'll run into those occasionally, but that's pretty much it. I don't typically drop restaurant orders for any other reason. I normally run at about anywhere from 97 to 100% completion rate, and the few drops that I have are typically on shopping orders. Now, why is that? Well, there's a couple different things that I might run into. Sometimes, like I said in earlier in this series, I talked about how I'll gamble on a high item shop hoping that there's multiples. Well, if I gambled wrong and I get inside the store and there's, let's say, 60 or 80 or 100 items that's like all over the store, and I know that I'm going to have all kinds of problems and this is going to take a long time, then I'll just go ahead and drop it. Another type of drop that I have is, let's say I start shopping and I keep running into out of stock issues. Like it's item after item, two or three different items that I'm having trouble finding. I'm messaging the customer, they're not responding, and I'm just not in the mood for it. It's issue after issue. I'll sometimes drop those orders. Now, there's recently been a change as far as this goes, where if I've been in the store at least 10 minutes, I've had some shopping orders that I've been able to drop penalty free, and you click on your question mark, store has an issue, and follow the prompts. And I'm not sure why right now, but when I follow all those prompts, it's as if I'm dropping a restaurant order with all of the same prompts and everything. So here within the last month or so, I've been able to drop a couple shopping orders penalty free when it used to not be like that. And it used to be any shopping order I dropped, no matter how much time I spent in the store, I would take a hit on my completion. But it's not like that at the moment. I don't know if DoorDash will change or fix that, but if you've been in this store for 10 minutes and you're having problems and you've had enough, you're wanting to drop the order, as of the time of this recording, you can drop it penalty free. Now, let's say there were no issues and you're ready to check out. Okay, so now we're at the registers. We're about to check out. First of all, I'll say to use the self-checkout lanes when possible. I typically do. I just think it goes quicker when... 99 times out of 100, there's going to be another customer already in the staffed registers. So you got to wait behind somebody else. A lot of times the self checkout, there'll be one open. I can go right up to it and I can scan the stuff, bag it how I want it bagged. Now, if I have a large order, or sometimes I have like a stacked or like two orders, separate order, and I got like a full shopping cart. Sometimes in those cases, like actually today, the day of this recording, I had an order like that. It was two orders. It was like 30 plus items. I just went ahead and went to a staffed register on that one because I thought that would be a little bit quicker in that instance. But typically, I use the self checkouts when possible. The next thing I wanted to say was make sure to follow all of the instructions as best you can. It's not the same checkout procedure for every single order. So you want to definitely like read your screens and follow the instructions because they change from order to order. And a couple different things here, like sometimes I've gone to check out and they want you to use the red card as run it as a credit, and other times it'll say to run it as a debit and provide the PIN number. I don't know why it prompts you to run it in different ways for different orders. I really don't know why, but I try to watch that, and however it says to run it, that's how I run the card. Now, I've anybody that's ran into this, drop a comment below if you've ever, like for instance, if they say run it as a credit but you ran it as a debit. Has there been anybody watching this video that's had some kind of backlash over that or something, gotten into trouble or anything? I've accidentally ran it the wrong way a couple different times and nothing's been said to me, so I don't really know if anything can happen. But if anybody's ever ran into something like that, drop a comment below. The receipt here within the last, it's been like the last 2 weeks. I've been asked by in the prompts to take a picture of my paper receipt on every order now. So it used to be that you didn't have to do that. So, but now it's on every one of my orders. And I don't know if that's across the board, all of DoorDash, or just in some markets, or, but watch out for that. It may ask you to take a picture of the receipt. And that's a really fast process. The receipt prints, you just kind of lay it out there in front of you, take the picture, hit send. It processes like instantly and only takes a second. Then the next thing is you want to check to see if some orders it says to throw the receipt away. Some I see like three different things. I'll either see throw the receipt away, or it'll say keep the receipt with you, or ensure that the receipt is in the bag. So three different possibilities. So definitely watch out for that. Just don't assume that you're supposed to like throw the receipt away after every order. That's the way it is on most orders, but some of them are different. I don't know why sometimes on some of them it says for me to keep the receipt on me. For what reason, I don't know, but I just do it as a precautionary thing. And then after I've delivered the order, closed out the order and everything, then I throw it away after that. And if you can't make a delivery, then sometimes you're instructed to take an order back to the store. Now, but some stores won't take orders back. So I had, just for an example, this has been quite a while ago, but I had an alcohol order. It was like 2 4-packs of Chardonnay, just these little plastic bottles. So I get the order, I go to the customer, knock on the door, it's a hand to customer, and the customer says, oh hey, this order right here, I canceled it. I already got it had to be placed a second time, but I got the original order, so I canceled this one that you have. So I don't want this stuff. And so I called DoorDash support. I think on that particular order, they just instructed me to just throw this stuff away or, keep it or do whatever I wanted with it. But definitely like follow all the prompts on that. If you can't make the delivery, either follow the on-screen prompts and the screens will tell you what to do. I had just another example to throw in here really quick. I had a order for some kind of cough syrup and requiring that the customer provide an ID that they were 18 years old. So I got to the customer, went to scan the ID, and immediately on my app, a message come up that the driver's license was expired. It says this license is expired. You can't deliver this order. And I had to tell the customer that, hey, I can't deliver it. And so that was that. So I basically then just drove away with that order. And same thing there. There was no message or anything that I had to attempt to return it to the store or anything. So I could, at that point, I could do whatever I want with the order. But yeah, definitely whatever the screens tell you to do. And if you're ever in doubt, you're not sure, then my best advice is to call DoorDash support and find out from them. And not only that, but they'll be able to document the issues as well on the order. And that's another extra safeguard that'll be in place, so that you don't have to worry about, getting into trouble for anything. And then, so next I wanted to talk about, okay, so now you've checked out at the registers. Now you're about to load the order into your car. Now, I would recommend using your whatever equipment that you use for delivering the food orders. I would also use like your hot bags or whatever equipment on these shopping orders as well to make things easier. And I would strongly recommend, if you're going to be doing a lot of shopping orders, to invest in at least one, maybe even two or three catering bags. It doesn't have to be a DoorDash catering bag, but just some type of larger bag that's going to make it easier for you to, when you load stuff into your car, to put it in a bigger bag. And then that's less different things to carry up to the customer. So I'll show you this screenshot of my setup here. I have two catering bags in the trunk of my car. And you see here, this is one particular order that I had. Like brown paper sacks with the handles, I can fit three of those in each catering bag. Sometimes on the plastic sacks from the stores, a lot of times I can fit, if there's not too much in the sacks, I can fit 6 of those in one catering bag. So it's just like two going across. And I start with anything perishable, like cold stuff. So if I got some kind of large order, I start with the cold stuff. I'll put those in my catering bags first. So fill up the 2 catering bags. Then I have in the front seat of my car, I have a larger, it's called a delivery bag from DoorDash. I have that to put stuff in. I also have a couple hot bags in addition to that in my car. And if I still have more sacks in addition to that, because I've had some really big orders before, anything like from the dry grocery aisles, then those sacks I'll just have separate and not inside of a delivery bag. Like I said, I try to get all of the cold perishable stuff into the delivery bags first. And then another thing I'll say about that is it's something that'll just make you look good when you're making these deliveries, because like, just for an example, my wife and we've placed a lot of grocery delivery orders here to the current apartment that we live in now. A lot of grocery orders. And I've watched out the window to see the drivers approaching and bringing our orders to the door a lot of times. And I have never, in all the deliveries that I've ever seen come to my door, I have never seen a driver use some type of bag to put our sacks in. They every single time they just have the loose sacks loaded up into their trunk or whatever, and they get here to make the delivery. They open up their trunk, and you know how it is when you got 15 or 20 different sacks. You know, you grab this sack in your hand, then grab another. You know, you're putting 3 or 4 sacks onto each hand and to make trips. If they're already in like a cater, like this particular order that I'm showing the screenshot, I just got these 2 bags to pick up out of my trunk and walk up to the front door with the 2 bags. I don't have to sit there and take the extra seconds to like grab all of those sacks. And also, yeah, you worry about sometimes the handles break or bust on these. You have to kind of worry, and I don't have to worry about that. And I've even had customers when I'm like here just a couple weeks ago, I was carrying my 2 catering bags with the groceries up to a customer's front door, and it really impressed the customer. Like I'm approaching, or as I'm approaching, she looks at me and she's like, wow, you're a real professional here. You know, so it's impressive and it sets you apart. And to me, it's just like it's a really good investment. It makes it easier on you and it looks better on you to making the deliveries like this. And also, after, especially on leave at the door orders, any equipment that I use to make these deliveries, I make sure to get all the equipment in the picture as well. So I walk up to the door with my bags, set the bags down, then basically just unload the bags out of my catering bag into, you know, in front of the door or whatever. Then kind of set the delivery bags, catering bags off to a side or whatever, and include everything in the picture: the order, the house number, the catering bags, so that the customer knows when they see that picture that I used insulated delivery bags, you know, to protect their orders on this delivery. So anyway, that wraps up my series, and I hope this series was helpful. I hope it answered some questions, gave you some things to think about shop and pay orders, and hopefully you're able to do some orders like this and have success with it like I've been able to have with shop and pay orders. We'll see you next time, and as always, be safe out there driving. Take care, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Check out my other videos. A lot of good stuff, a lot of information for all things DoorDash. And we will see you at the next video. Thanks again for watching.